Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Q&A ahead of Game Week 28 from Fantasy Football Scout. You are joined by two managers with a red arrow in the 2 millions. How many times have we said that this season, Sam? We're here again. We keep, somehow finding ways to not climb up the ranks, but not the best week, was it?
No, and do you know, I had so much hope and so much optimism for this week as well. Like I thought, oh, it's all going to go well. Like imagine if I hadn't have done the Virgil transfer, because I think the last time I checked in with you, that was sort of on the cards, but
Yeah.
possibly not. And I was a bit backwards and forwards. I very, very nearly just did the Verts move and left it at that. Imagine if I'd have done that I would have absolutely tanked because he didn't even play. It would have been awful.
Who did you do? Oh, yeah, you were going to... Yeah, imagine if you'd bought in Verts and not Van Dijk.
I know.
Oof.
So it would have been really bad, but actually in the end it worked out all right because obviously Virgil was. It was one of those where it was always on the cusp of the green. Had I captained Haaland, I'd have had a green arrow.
Yeah.
But because I didn't captain Haaland, it was red. So
I looked at your team and I thought, God damn, that team looks strong this week.
I know. So did
I was like, there is no way Sam is going to get, she's going to get a big... And I was worried about, you had Semenyo captain, I like that. You had Rodgers... you had all the main guys in play. Van Dijk came in. I was like, that is a really good team. And somehow I outscored you and I got red.
Honestly,
I got 3 points.
It was one of those where I was looking at it and I was like, I can't I said to Lee, I can't see what could go wrong. So everything's going to go wrong. And then it did. And I was just like, and I was watching multiple games. The one that got me is I was sitting... It's a bit sad of me but I was sitting on the living room floor during the 3 o'clock building some Lego and within 5 minutes João Pedro had scored and my toys were firmly out of the pram at that point because I knew it was going to be I knew the Chelsea game was going to be difficult and I thought, God, if it's 4 minutes in and I'm already like this, what on earth is it going to be like by the end? In the end, actually, that game did not hurt as much as I feared it was going to. So we got out of the Chelsea game and I was thinking, well, okay, right.
Same.
All of the people that can hurt me now, we're pretty much done. But then none of my team decided that they wanted to play football. And Morgan Rogers continues to be the brain of my life. Oh, that man, honestly.
You said it. You called it. I said he's a great option this week. I'm very nervous about not owning him and all that. And yeah.
Yet here I am, still holding hands with Morgan Rogers, despite the fact that he is useless for me week upon week upon week upon week. And you know what, Az? I'll hold him again, won't I?
Yep.
Because I'm an idiot.
You can't sell him against Wolves, so you got to hold him. Who's he got after that? Chelsea at home, Man United. You could potentially sell him in 29.
I know. But I can't
But then he's
now.
got a great game in 31 against West Ham. So
I know. It's a nightmare. I'm stuck in a Morgan Rogers hole. I can't get out.
Yeah, I didn't have much better luck. I had Munoz come in with the 9. Elliot Anderson continues to be my best player this season, which I think sums it up.
Wall?
Going on the wall for sure. Yeah, and then Haaland captain, everyone else blanked. Got an assist from Timber, but it didn't matter because he went off.
Thank God you didn't do the captaincy on Thiago that you were going to.
Yeah, I know. Well, it would
because
only
if
be
you'd have sold the
4 points, but
and then Captain Thiago.
Oh yeah, I sold Verbruggen. I keep forgetting I did that. That was dumb.
Imagine if you'd have sold Verbruggen, Captain Thiago, and then you'd have lost. So you'd have lost. What did Haaland get in the end? 6, 7, 6. That would have been.
It could have been. It could have been a lot worse.
Let's just be grateful for the small mercies that came to us then.
Good to see so many of you in the chat. Get your questions in. Sam and I will try and answer as many as we can. Before we do that, we should have a little word from our sponsor, Sam. Do your QVC business on.
Here we go again. Look, I'll bring it in. La la. Look, I've got some little family pictures for you today. It's nearly Mother's Day. I asked you last week if you bought a present. I suspect you still haven't bought a present this week. I'll tell you something though. Since becoming a mum, gosh, a long time ago now, 12 years ago, say it quietly, I found shopping for my mother-in-law and my mum even more important than I used to. To be honest, I used to be one of those people that would go to the shop, buy them a card, pick them up a box of chocolates and a bunch of flowers, and that'd be enough. However, since becoming a mum and realising how hard these people work on a daily basis just to keep these small people alive and then obviously to support me as I've got older, I always like to buy them something slightly nicer this year. So these are the perfect opportunity to show your mum how much you love her. Brought something up then by mistake. They're great. They are absolutely fantastic. You can display everything that you want to on them, all the photos. And in fact, just before we came on here, because I had it in my calendar for the wrong time this stream, so I was waiting for you for a while before I realised that we'd put it back by half an hour. So I decided to add some more photos. So I actually added another 20 odd photographs for the last few weeks to the frame. So it's nice because then tonight while we're watching the game, new photographs will appear and it reminds us of some nice happy memories. Now, these frames, they have unlimited storage. You can display as many photographs as you want. They also display video. So if you would rather have little videos that play, you can absolutely do that as well. And if you're like me and you have children that don't smile at the camera at the same time, so you take live photographs so you can find the best part of the photograph in the live, they'll also play out the live photographs as well, which is really lovely because you can see everyone shuffling into position and me going, smile, and they all pull a nice face in theory. And I can also preload any frames that I buy for my mum or my mother-in-law in advance with photos and videos so that they can see them as soon as the frame is plugged in. And it's great because, as I've said before, you can do that from all over the world via the app and it will automatically appear in your frame back at home or in your loved one's house. And for a limited time, these frames are still on offer, so you can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.co.uk to get £35 off the best-selling Carver matte frames, which is this one. They were named the top frame by The Independent. And if you use the promo code SCOUT at the checkout, that will give you the discount. So that's Aura, AURA frames.co.uk. Promo code is SCOUT. It's exclusive, this deal, to our listeners. So if you order it now, you'll get it in time for Mother's Day, and you can support the show by mentioning SCOUT at the checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
Beautifully done, Sam. Beautifully done.
I genuinely do love them.
I know you do. I
love them.
You go off about
every week,
off air as well as on air. It's good. Yeah. Good.
I literally tell everyone every time someone comes in my house now, because it's proudly on display in my living room. Every time someone comes in my house, they're like, "Oh, that's a nice one." I'm like, "I know. Would you like to know about it?" I bring out my sales.
Bring out your scripts.
You can get £35 off if you use my code, and they're just like, "All right, Sam."
Are you okay?
They're brilliant.
Yeah. Excellent stuff. Yeah, check them out. Link in the description below. We've had some questions. Quite a few people talking about the Champions League draw. Obviously not strictly FPL related, but obviously Brighton on it, so I can't really comment. But
Spurs are.
Yeah, Spurs are. Real versus City, Chelsea v PSG, Galatasaray v Liverpool, Spurs Atletico, Newcastle Barca. We've got some good ties in that draw. You pretty happy with Atletico?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think Liverpool and Spurs probably had one of the nicest sets because we were paired together. So Lee and I obviously knew we were either getting Galatasaray or we were getting Atleti. So I was kind of pleased that that's the way that it went. And I do think it's probably the nicer part of the draw. Certainly we're in the nicer half of the draw, away from Chelsea and Liverpool and Man City and Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. They're all on the other side. If Spurs do what I've been saying for a while now and get relegated and win the Champions League, we'll have to do it via Atleti and then either the winner of Barcelona and Newcastle. So maybe an all-English tie there. And then obviously we could potentially meet Arsenal in a North London derby in the semi-finals of the Champions League before, I'm hoping, a repeat of the last time we were in the Champions League final when Spurs played Liverpool, because that would allow me to get some revenge on my dearest husband. Because I do feel like we deserved a little bit more than we got in that game after that goodness knows terrible penalty right at the beginning of the game. So yeah, I'm out for revenge, and so this feels kind of nice that we can't meet each other till the final. It means I can support him all the way through and he can support us, and hopefully we'll continue to have good nights in the Champions League, because honestly we're not getting many good days in the Premier League, so I need the Champions League nights to be positive ones.
I think you're going to win the Champions League and get relegated.
Thanks,
very Spursy.
Imagine if we did it again and finished 17th again, but also won the Champions League.
I know. Yeah.
That would literally be. I think. I mean, I cried when we won the Europa League. I don't know what would happen if we won the Champions League and also stayed up. That would be. I might have to retire from everything. That might just because what else would come? What could possibly be better?
that would be the ultimate. I mean, what would happen though if you did get relegated and you won the Champions League? Would you be playing Champions League football in the Championship?
Yeah, and I would love to see how the EFL deal with that, with all their midweek game weeks.
I was going to say that would be
carnage, wouldn't it?
That would be absolutely carnage. I physically don't. I think it happened not Champions League, but there was a team, wasn't there, that got relegated and played in Europe? Was it Birmingham or someone like that? They won remember they had that like fair play award. I think they got
Yeah,
him.
I do remember the Fair Play Award.
Yeah.
Blimey, yeah, that was at the time when you... No, I mean, Spurs never get close with Romero when I would we? But, yeah.
I think Fulham got through on the Fair Play, and then they got to the final against Atletico when Big Bobby Zamora was there. Yeah, I was Wigan, says Greg. Yeah, it was Wigan. That's right. Yeah,
Wigan.
That's because they won the cup, not because of the Fair Play. They won the FA Cup, didn't they, and then got relegated.
Well,
so.
Look, let's just hope, beyond hope, as that this isn't a problem that we have to worry about, or the EFL have to worry about. Let's hope that Spurs,
I want that.
Oh, all right. I don't want that, Az Phillips. Az Phillips, you can't say that to me. We are supposed to be best friends. You can't.
Just to confirm, you would you would not be happy if Spurs won the Champions League and got relegated.
I'd be delighted if we won the Champions League, but I can't. Well, I can't get relegated. Come on now.
Imagine if you lost to Liverpool in the final and got relegated.
What are you trying to make me cry? What's happening here? Not as bad as my husband, who keeps sending me links to Mickey van der Ven having not signed a contract and saying, it must be because it's coming to us.
Yeah.
I told him that if he mentions it to me again, we're getting divorced. That's
shut him up.
Yeah. No, he's carried on, so he probably wants.
He's dangled a carrot now. That's the completely the wrong way.
Keep talking about Mickey van der Ven and I'll leave. So he's like, okay, easy out. Anyway.
Yeah, Champions League, good. Let's take some FPL related questions. Quite a few of those coming in. Mike FPL, is the ultimate troll Gordon, which he definitely is in terms of FPL, worth a punt now Wirtz is out? We talked about him a bit on Black Box. Luke was very keen on Gordon. Having owned him early in the season and getting
Gordon can only play well in the Champions League, no?
Nothing from him. Luke was quick to point out, historical returns don't necessarily mean he's not going to score in the future. He's got good fixtures. I wouldn't go anywhere near him.
That impression of Luke, by the way.
I would not go anywhere near Gordon. Minutes are a risk. He's scored one goal in the Premier League since God knows how when. That wasn't a penalty. I mean, Everton at home's fine, but then Man United, Chelsea, that's not great. Sunderland at home in 31, that's not too bad.
Everton are better away than they are at home.
I just think there's better pick. I'd rather have like Wilson, your Dangos, your.
If you want to stay at Liverpool, you go for Szoboszlai, no? No. Yeah, I agree with all the ones you've just said. Dango, Sharda, Rayan, Harry Wilson. There's so many better options, all cheaper than Anthony Gordon and all better, in my opinion.
FPL Top, can someone clip this so we can replay it with Gordon Halls at the weekend? He might. I mean, he's on penalties. He's playing for a good side. I wouldn't be shocked if he did well. He's just been awful. Like anyone who's owned Gordon this season will testify that he's been an awful, awful player to own.
Yeah, he has. He's been dreadful. In the Premier League, I've had him in Champions League fantasy. He's been fantastic because that's where he scores his goals. So have him over there, yeah, fine. But actually, when you look at the returns that he's had so far this season, there is nothing to suggest that he's about to go on a run, and the fixtures aren't there. If he had Burnley, Wolves, and Forest in the next 3 weeks, then I'd be like, okay, well, fair enough, it's worth a pump. But he doesn't. He has Everton, Manchester United, and Chelsea. Maybe you look at it a little bit later when we get towards that Sunderland game, but yeah, I just having a look at how many points he's actually scored this season, because it's not many, I don't think.
I mean, he's being as a next step fitness says, the fact he's linked with Arsenal, Liverpool is ridiculous. He's been linked to a lot of top clubs. He is having a weird season. I mean, in the Champions League, he's one of the top goal scorers. He looks absolutely electric. Teams can't seem to deal with his pace and all that. And in the Premier League, it's like he's a different player. It's really strange to watch.
Wait, I can't even find him on the list of, where is he? Gordon, where are you, Anthony? That's how far I'm having to scroll down this. There he is. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60, 62 players have scored more.
Good, nice quick counting.
Did you like my maths? In fact, it's actually not going to be quite that, because there's 2 of the ones I counted were on the same points of him. So 60 players, 60 midfielders, not even players, 60 midfielders that have been better than him in the league this season. No,
Luke
is
says
the answer.
Previous point.
I don't care what Luke says. Luke says a lot of things, and he talks like this apparently. So
Clip that.
I love you really, Luke.
Anyone who's listening.
We love you really, Luke. But no, you're wrong.
Hi to Martin Spurrier, who's listening from Brisbane, Australia. Listen to you guys all the time. Tough season. Very tough season.
Very tough. But we're still here.
Tough. We're still here. We're smile on our face, just about. A few people asking about Verts and Enzo, looking to sell them. Snaker Senna says Verts or Enzo out for Dango. What do you reckon on that? I mean, Verts is surely the priority move out, right? Because he's out. He's confirmed out of, well, not confirmed out, but Slot said Slot's basically said he's not going to feature in the weekend, which would make him a major doubt for the midweek as well, right? Like
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? Is that the midweek round comes quickly. So he said, no, I don't have any idea how long Verts is going to be out in this moment in time. No, usually when I say that, I do know and I don't want to share it, but honestly, I don't. If he doesn't know that he's only out for the weekend, given that the deadline is on Tuesday, then he's not playing midweek, is my view. So that means you've not got him for Saturday, and you've not got him for, I think Liverpool play Tuesday. It's possible they play Wednesday for midweek. Yeah. And then obviously we do have a little bit of a break with the FA Cup before we get back into it again. But nonetheless, if he's saying he doesn't really know, and there was this weird, did you see it yesterday? There was a picture of him in his shorts and a t-shirt in the training ground, which was then quickly deleted by Liverpool. So he was obviously there for like medical stuff, right? But wasn't in training, obviously. So it depends on where your head is with this. If we think that this might just be he misses 28 and 29 and you're trying to play through 31, then maybe Verts is an okay hold, because as long as he's back by 31, which you would expect him to be, I think, then he's probably okay to hold. Enzo, on the other hand, horrible fixtures, but it's quite a decent one actually in game week 31, but not in the right positions and not returning. Whereas I would expect when Verts comes back, he does hit the ground running again in the way that he had been. So I think I would sell Enzo in this position, despite the fact that Enzo's available and Verts isn't, just to buy yourself the time, because Verts could very easily be a long-term hold over the next, once he's back in. And until we have the information about that, I think it's hard to sell him.
Yeah, I think again, it's one of these ones. If you were going to sell like one say you were going to bench Enzo this week and play Verts, you could just move Verts to someone else or vice versa. Yeah, I think if you're planning on benching Enzo for the next two anyway, you might as well just bench Verts, because then you're probably going to get him back, because it's quite a big break, isn't it, after the Tuesday game? They play on the Tuesday and then it's not until the Saturday like after. So they've got like,
because he wouldn't play in the FA Cup anyway, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Rest, so
So if you were just planning on benching Enzo, that's fine. You can just sell Enzo and just bench Verts. If like you need them and you need them all to start, then you'll if you were starting Enzo anyway, you probably need to sell Verts, because I don't see how he plays the next two matches. And obviously you'd rather have a playing player than a non-playing player in Enzo. Yeah, so
that's fair.
Yeah, that's probably the way to do it. TJ says, "As what are you doing about Thiago for now? Keeping him, great fixtures on penalties."
I'm thinking about captaining him.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, the fixtures of Burnley, Bournemouth, Wolves, Leeds, Everton, Fulham. Like you're going to hold him right up to 36, aren't you? They've got horrible last three. They've got Man City away, Palace, and Liverpool away. You sell him around then, but no, he's locked in. Locked in. Yep,
I'm with you.
Good captaincy option. A few people asking about captaincy option. Joseph Maloney says captain pick this week. I'm not going Haaland this week.
You said that last week. Where are you going?
I did say it last week. I am going Fernandes this week. Bruno Fernandes.
So Lee and I had a bit of an argument about this, because he says,
a theme.
I have made it sound like we're always arguing. We never argue. A debate. We'll call it a debate.
Nice.
Because he said that Bruno Fernandes is the best captain for the week. And I said, have you looked at the underlying data? Like the last 2 weeks, Bruno Fernandes has been, I mean, I think the actual word I used was guff, but we can think of a better word to use on this stream if you prefer. He hasn't been great. He's not getting the DEFCONs anymore because of the new position. And at a time when Manchester United are playing well, he isn't. Like, he's passing the eye test, if I'm a Manchester United fan, I'm delighted with Bruno. If I'm just watching the game as a football fan, I think he's played well. As an FPL manager, the last 2 weeks, no, he hasn't been great. So I guess the question is, do we therefore think that that is likely to change this week? And if we do, what is changing about it? Like, are we having a change of system? Are we expecting Sesko to play? And if we are, does that make Mboma a less attractive option? Either way, I think if I had Mboma on my team, I'd be tempted to captain. But with Bruno, I've gone right off the idea of it because the underlying numbers just haven't been there.
Interesting. I mean, my take on it is it's been two quite tougher games than I think we anticipated for Man U, but they've come through it and done well. He hasn't had the influence that he's had that we've seen. But I mean, before that, he hit 3 double-digit hauls in 4 games, against Spurs, Fulham, and Man City, and he got an assist against Arsenal. I know the numbers haven't been great, but I just don't see a world in which Bruno Fernandes playing as a 10 for an attacking United team against a Palace team ravaged by injuries, having just been in Europe, isn't a good pick. On penalties, on set pieces.
I don't think he's a bad pick. Like, I'm playing him, I'm keeping him, I'm not suggesting I'm going to sell him or anything like that. I just don't think he's the best captaincy option for the week. Like, I actually do genuinely think that Thiago might be the best captaincy option for this week, given the fixture.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
As long as Coyote's back, then I think I might go there. If he's not, that's the problem. Because then I don't know where I'd go. Like, at the minute, Haaland and Semenyo are both still in the conversation. Bruno's still in the conversation. I still may captain him. I just don't think he's the best captain of the week. And I think where I am, maybe a captaincy on Thiago might be the best way to try and shuffle my pack a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of good options. I think you could look at Ekatike, for example, home to West Ham. I know he's been a pain, but you could look at him.
Be on set pieces against them. Yeah. They're terrible against that. Yeah,
you've got Haaland, Ekatike, Thiago, Fernandes. You could take a punt on like a Wilson against your team, against Spurs. You could go for Dango if you want. Like, it feels like a week where we're all gonna like try and be a bit different, and then Haaland's gonna get a hat trick, and every other player is gonna disappoint, and then I'll be like 3.5 million. Like, that's probably what's gonna happen, and I'm resigned to that. But I think my strategy between now and the end of the season, given where I'm in the rank, needs to go a bit different. And I think
that's what I tried last week with the Semenyo one.
Yeah, I know you were unlucky with that. I think my plan is to avoid Haaland away, and just try and hit that home fixtures with like good assets. And I think Haaland hasn't exactly been great either, has he? Like, no. Look at his underlying numbers; they're way down on what we'd expect. He's only hit 1 double-digit haul in about 10, 11 weeks, something like that. Will it come against Leeds? Quite possibly, but there's not many weeks left, so I need to get the captaincy right and take a bit of a gamble. And Fernandes seems like a decent enough choice. Christian says Captain Rogers. Yeah, I don't think Sam's going to be doing that. Somehow.
I tell you what, if he don't return this week though, the rage in next week's Q&A will be unreal. So let's hope for everybody's sake that he does.
Double down to captain him. Do what you can do.
Absolutely not.
Coflame says Ekatike captain worth a punt if chasing. He's a points dodger, that man. Like, there's no two ways about it. 2, 2, 2, 13, 1, 2. Like, he's only really scored. Well, he scored twice in game week 24. That's his only returns in all those like 6 weeks. But you watch him and you think, how is he not getting points?
I know.
Should have scored against Forest. Terrible header, getting into good positions, main man, hasn't got the penalties and the set pieces, which is frustrating. But playing West Ham at home, I'm expecting something from Ekatike against West Ham. You got it, right?
Yeah, I would be expecting.
Would I captain him? Yeah, I don't mind it. Don't mind it at all. I think if you're chasing, he's a very good option this week. So, yeah, yep. I don't hate it. Adam Studham says thoughts on Sesko as a differential punt. I mean, he surely starts.
I think he starts.
Yeah.
The problem is that if he starts... So I think as a differential punt for this week, the weekend, he's great. Do we then think... Because depending upon what happens, does he keep... Because it'll be for Ahmad, you would think. Ahmad would come out and he play Sesko instead. Does he hold Ahmad out indefinitely? So coming into the midweek round, do we see the rotation then again? I guess it might depend on how Sesko plays. Does he think, well, look, yes, you're playing brilliantly when you come off the bench, but it's working. You coming off the bench. So maybe it's very difficult to know, I think. And that's the problem. I am not in need of a striker right now. If I had a striker that was a problem, I might be inclined to take a little punt for this week. But I do think you might cause yourself some problems in midweek.
I think it's a bad move. Well, I mean, what do we always say? We say get your
Well, I know
nailed players.
I know, but it does feel like for this weekend he could be a really great differential. The problem is that going into midweek, I don't think he probably doesn't start unless he absolutely has a blinder against Crystal Palace. Then maybe he holds the spot, but it's too difficult, I think.
He hasn't even. We say get players who play 90 minutes. He hasn't played 90 minutes combined across the last 4 games.
I don't think he's played 19, has he, combined across?
He comes on about 60, doesn't he? So I think, but some games he's played like 15. Yeah, no. You know, we're at a period where our transfers are really important. Like, what happens if you get to 31 and you've got Sesko in your team and then he's not playing? You know, you're just
he'll
going to
come
cause
off the
yourself
bench
issues.
and score.
It's not enough. Not enough. Better picks. I'm afraid. Kevin says Captain Thiago. Bantering says Captain Dango. Don't hate either of those. Mike Parsons says Pedro captain. God, Pedro away at Arsenal. Come on.
You can't captain João Pedro away at Arsenal.
No chance.
No, the Dango, Thiago. Yes, I'm starting to be in that camp, I think.
Yeah. I need to decide on my. We haven't had many questions about the midfielders. That seems to be all the rage on other streams and things like that. You know, Dango, Wilson, Rayan.
Maybe everyone's decided.
Maybe they have. Who would you go for? That's my decision this week. Will Enzo to either Wilson or Dango. That's my move. One of those two.
I think the Dango long-term fixtures would make me go there.
He's the upside pick for sure. Like his underlying stats
so
are
lowly
ridiculous.
Owned, like 1 point something.
1 point ownership. Yeah, he's probably who I'm going to go for. And then watch him get benched against Burnley.
He won't be benched. He will not be benched. No, but it's hard. Like I was going to go for Verts this week, obviously, and now that's in the mud again. So now my question is, well, what do I do with Enzo? Do I go to Boslife in the next couple of weeks, which feels like a decent option, especially with Frimpong back, and you'd expect him to play it right back. Therefore, with Verts out, you think Szoboszlai has to play in the mid, which is great. But if I do this, if I bring in, and because at the minute Enzo's on my bench, I have to bench somebody that I really like then this week. I caused myself more benching headaches by making a transfer for this weekend. So I'm tempted to just roll it. But then I think this is difficult, isn't it? Because again, we don't have enough information about Verts. I like the Wilson pick. I do think he'll do well against Spurs, and I do think the Fulham fixtures are good, but I also think that the Liverpool fixtures are great. And if we had more information about Verts, it would help. Like if Sot was able to say Verts is out for 3 weeks, then you would know what to do.
Yeah.
But we don't have that clarity. I think we kind of have to assume that he might be available for 30 because the gap, that kind of has to be, I guess, the strat you take.
Yep. Breckdog, so glad I did a wildcard 23 on a free hit 31 strategy. 3 million ranked before Christmas to now within 100k. Feels as and Sam are being too safe. I do. I mean, you weren't. You were brave. You wildcarded a few weeks ago, and it hasn't been the meteoric rise.
I don't think I can be accused of being safe. No, I was at 3.6 million 4 weeks ago. Like, so that is still what, 1.5 million up in rank in 4 weeks. Also, like, that's not.
You've got enough players in your team that could bail you out of this. I look at my team every week and I think, who's going to get me the points that I need to have a respectable. I feel like I'm just playing for like 33, where I'm going to 32, 33, and then hope that 5 week spell, because my team looks fine every week, but I just don't have those like big points getters. You know, your 4 million defenders that everyone seems to be getting, like your Mukielis or your Van der Vens or whoever. I just haven't had any of those. It's been, really, really frustrating. A few people mentioning Ramadan for Dango. ABZ, not interested because of Ramadan. Boosh says Dango will get 70 minutes. There was the thing, wasn't there, Harry posted about the fact he didn't play very often last year. There was a few mitigating factors with that. We talked about that last week. The fact that there was a rotation and Tavernier came back or something like that and sort of no, it wasn't Tavernier. He was at Brentford, wasn't he? There was players coming back from injury basically, which meant that his start was no. Sorry, oh my God, what am I talking about? He was at Bournemouth. He was at Bournemouth, and it was Tavernier coming back. That was it. There was more competition for his place, so it wasn't necessarily to do with the fact it was Ramadan, but that could have an impact on his minutes for sure. But he's got the best stats and the great fixtures, and he looks really good. So that's the risk. That's the risk you take. What about Rayan? Says next step fitness. Well, I want him so much.
I want him so badly. I just love him. I think he is brilliant. But then there's the Tavernier thing. Again, funnily enough, Tavernier's come up twice in 2 minutes. Because so I was really intrigued by Tavernier coming back. And so that game on Saturday night, I watched really carefully because I had benched I'd benched both Senesi and Croupy Jr. And it was a real reluctant benching, particularly for Croupy. I thought West Ham would score, and they should have, to be fair. But it was a reluctant benching for Croupy, and in the end I did it, and I blamed Lee for it all afternoon because he was like, "Yeah, you have to bench Croupy," and he was right. I did. The way that my team was looking, I had to bench him. But and I said to Lee, if he starts, I'm going to be fuming with you because you've made me bench a player that I think could actually do all right. Now, in the end, there was no need to be fuming because he started, but he wasn't very good. But it wasn't him that came off. And that was what was interesting for me. He took Evan Nilsson off for Tavernier. I don't know what happens with Rayan and Tavernier and Evan Nilsson and Croupy and all of these minutes across that Bournemouth midfield. And that is what worries me a little bit, is that they've now got their best player back in Tavernier. What now happens around the edges of that in terms of minutes, which is what is just scaring me a little bit with Rayan.
The thing is, like, all of these players, there's a bit of risk, isn't there? Like, there's always a little bit of worry. I think that's why Wilson is a great
He's
option.
safe.
He is very safe. They've got very, very good fixtures. I think he gets like points over the next 4. It's just, do any of the other ones with that extra bit of risk, can they outscore it? If I was 500k, I'd be getting Wilson 100%. I wouldn't even be questioning it. But I'm not 500k. I need to hit some big hauls, and I do wonder if it's Rayan and Dango seem to me the ones who have got that in them just to score, a brace at the weekend. Like, they're both so electric, so exciting. But obviously Wilson's got more routes to points because he's got free kicks. He might be on pens if Jimenez is off the pitch as well. And we've seen what he can do with good fixtures in the past. So a lot of people asking, like, should I do Rice to Wilson, like things like that.
I told Rice this week, by the way.
Yeah,
Chelsea, the worst team in the league for expected goals conceded from set pieces.
Yeah,
hold Rice.
I like Wilson, but I would wait. Yeah, I think I agree, and that is probably what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to do Dango this week and then Wilson next week. I think is my plan.
Whereas I think I might do Szoboszlai for Enzo this week, and then next week do Rice to somebody. I don't know who yet.
Spurs are the worst team defensively over the last 6. So
just generally, you didn't need that defensively. You could have just left it at that.
I think Wilson gets something, and I think Fulham win that game.
Brilliant, thanks. Should we move on?
Yep. Bart Liverpool, thank you for the super chat. Wirtz and Mane to Tavernier and Ekitike. Tavernier, we've mentioned him a few times. We haven't actually talked about whether he's a good option for a -4 and captain Ekitike. Wirtz and Mane to Tavernier and Ekitike for a -4.
What do we expect for Tavernier's minutes coming back from injury?
I think he starts, but I think he probably starts both. But he's gonna not play. He's not gonna play 90, is he? In both games,
no.
He'll definitely come off.
Do you think there's a chance he doesn't start the weekend?
Yeah. Well,
and then starts midweek.
I think it's probably the other way around. I think he's more likely to start the weekend and then not start in midweek.
See, I don't know if he might just ease him back in again. Another half-time appearance off the bench at the weekend, and then he'll be fully match fit and ready for 90 minutes in midweek. I don't know.
I'd go Rayan over Tavernier.
Would you?
Personally.
So I think I still would as well, but his return is just putting me off a little bit. I think I'd be inclined, if I was going to take a -4, I think I'd be inclined to go Dango and Ekitike versus Mane to Dango and Ekitike. If you can afford that, yeah.
Would you do this move though?
I think if you're going to bring Ekitike in and captain him, then that -4 should easily pay off. And it's good for the long term. It takes out a problem for game week 31 in Mane. I think I would.
It's risky, Bart, because you're taking a hit and you're captaining, a differential
You're
player.
taking out a player that's not. You're taking out a player that's not performing and blanks in 31, and an injured player for 2 players that could and should do well this week.
Yeah. Just a hit, isn't it? It's a hit. He's just put in the chat, he's 5.3 million. So
do it.
Yeah, why not?
What have you got at that point? What have you got to lose?
Yeah.
Same as us.
Yeah, do it. Do it. We're going to live a little. Eddie Casey, hi Sam and Az. Who are getting for Enzo? Dango, Ryan Wilson. Sorry if I answered already. I'm going Dango. I've just decided.
I think Dango is my favourite of these 3.
I'm going to go Dango just because of the ownership. I think Wilson is probably the best pick, like in terms of reliable points. But
points, but in terms of explosive points, I think it's got to be Dango.
Yep. I agree. People saying sell. I don't. Neither of us would sell Rice this week, would we? We'd give him his Chelsea game.
Because Chelsea are so bad from set pieces. Like you saw Burnley in the last couple of minutes at Chelsea last week.
Yeah.
They
Arsenal, don't know what they're doing.
They don't know what they're doing.
No,
they don't know what they're doing from set pieces. In fact, they look worse from set pieces now than they did earlier on in the season when they were still quite bad. Yep. So hold your Arsenal set piece attackers. Play Gabriel. Play play Rice. Play Saka.
Yep, I agree with that. Colm says Lewis Potter to O'Reilly. Yeah, we haven't really spoken about O'Reilly and Verts to Mbeumo, but the little voice is whispering stack in my ear. Stack. For a -4, I need to do something 7 reds in a row. Yeah, I feel you.
Colm, 7 in a row is horrible.
O'Reilly. My first thoughts before, like when the weekend ends, you look at your team, and you think, what's my instinct saying? It was Timber to O'Reilly and Devaney, the Crystal Palace player, to Rayan.
Why have you got him?
He's the cheapest midfielder in the game, isn't he? And 3 up top.
Okay. And him to who?
Rayan.
Okay.
So O'Reilly
now you're doing none of these things that was your original gut reaction.
Because it's for a hit, and
you only got 1 free transfer.
Yeah. So I did that stupid goalkeeper move, didn't I?
Why did you do that goalkeeper move?
Because I thought Kelleher would outscore Verbruggen by more than 4 points over the next 6 weeks, which he might do. It's only been 1 week. But
on Saturday, when you sent that text to our group chat, Lee and I turned to each other and we went, "Why would you make a goalkeeper change?" Because you have no faith in your own team. And then as I'm watching it play out, I was like, I said to Lee, has he also captained Thiago? Because if he's sold Verbruggen and captain Thiago, even Brighton winning's not going to bring his move back.
How did Thiago not score? He had 2 brilliant chances.
One over the bar, the header.
Did you think in a million years Brighton would win that game 2-0?
No, I thought he was going to get spanked.
So did I. And I thought even if it means a hit down the line, if Brentford keep a clean sheet in that game and Brighton concede, then it's paid off. And then I've got a better goalkeeper going forward. That was my logic to it. Bought Verbruggen last week. Have you watched us lately? We've been absolutely shocking in defence.
The best thing about it was that Lee played Verbruggen last week. And he was just, so when you texted and said this, he was like, I've played to Verbruggen and he got 7 points.
7-pointer.
It's like,
it would have been even more if his save at the end had counted, but because it was a deflection from our centre back. If it was, it
would have been 8.
It would have been 9 because he would have got 2 bonus.
Oh, the save points, yeah.
He would have got an extra save point in the bonus. So, if anything, I got it was really. I mean, it was painful, but it wasn't. It was painful for FPL. I was delighted. I mean, that was a massive win for Brighton.
Massive win, massive win.
Genuinely, I was a bit annoyed at myself for doing the goalkeeper move, but if you'd offered me 2-0 Brighton, I'd have bitten your hand off for it. It didn't bother me.
Yeah, but imagine how much sweeter it would have been with Verbruggen sitting there.
I know. Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Oh well.
But anyway, why did we start talking about this? Because you didn't trust your gut.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was about should I trust my gut? Should I bring in O'Reilly, who I think is an amazing option for the next 3 weeks, and Rayan, who I absolutely love, and get rid of 2 players that I despise? Bit harsh on Devaney actually, but
he doesn't really do anything to worth despising.
But Timber to O'Reilly just feels lovely. Like I really like that move.
Yeah. So the problem I've got is that I've already got Gahey. So I can't really easily get O'Reilly without. Well, I can. I can go Gahey to O'Reilly easily. However, do I want to do that? I'm taking one blanking player out for another blanking player.
You've got transfers though, right?
I do have transfers, but if I do the Enzo to Szoboszlai move that I think I might do, I will have to bench Gahey.
Yeah.
So then I can't bench O'Reilly. So then what am I doing? I'd have to bench Senesi, I guess. Do I want to bench Senesi?
Oh, I owe you some credit actually. I've laughed at you. You know, when you said about Palmer being the 6th best, I laughed at you and all that. You said last week someone asked who they should play, and you said O'Reilly, top of the and they was 4 really really good players. You remember we were talking, and I was like, no, I think I'd put O'Reilly like 3rd. I think Newcastle probably score in that game. Blah blah blah. And you were like, nope, he's playing in midfield. He's got the most chance of goals. I would definitely play him, and you did really well. Well done.
Thanks. That was nice. Yeah. That was like a nice. I'll take that. That's that. In fact, I can retire happy now. That's a nice praise. That was.
I was very impressed.
Thanks. I would like to have him though, and I think if you've got a route to him that's easy and you don't have a problem for game week 31, then I would get O'Reilly.
Would you take a hit for him though?
No, I wouldn't take a hit.
That's it.
Because I do think the clean sheet will go. He'll get because I think Leeds will score, and that's why I might bench Gahey, because he doesn't have that level of attacking threat. And in fact, because O'Reilly's doing what he's doing and the way that they're structured, he's even less attacking apart from at set pieces. So I might actually do the Szoboszlai move and bench him. The big question for me, I think, if you're looking for a defender, like you were just talking about Timber to somebody, is it actually O'Reilly for the next couple of weeks? I mean, clearly he is the best option, but you've got to think about the longer term and if it causes you an issue or not. Or do you just get Virgil?
Yeah.
Because if you're selling Timber, money's not a problem.
I mean, Timber to Van Dijk was such a good move last week, wasn't it? Like it's
so
one of those rare moves where it made complete sense and it paid off.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I said this in our live stream on Sunday. I was at Spurs, obviously, on Sunday afternoon. And so I wasn't watching the game. So I was just relying on both Lee and SofaScore notifications telling me what had happened, because I didn't stay down it was so busy and loud down there. We went and sat in the bowl. So I was, so when it flicked up that McAllister had scored the winner, obviously from a Spurs perspective, I was like, oh, thank God, Forest are losing. Great. And then when I looked at the SofaScore thing and it said that Virgil had got the assist, I don't think I've ever been so delighted about anything in my life. In fact, the stadium was actually quite empty still at that point. If they'd have had the Sky cameras out there was just me in the middle of the South Stand, just doing a dance about Virgil. And my mum was like, why are you so excited about Virgil van Dijk? I was like, well, Mum, clean sheet, an assist. There's going to be some bonus points in there. It's great. He's great.
Offside.
I don't look as he wasn't. He wasn't offside because the goal stood.
I'm very bitter because if I just done Timber to Van Dijk, which was the sensible, obvious move, I'd be 15 points better off.
Yeah.
And I'd be ahead of you.
Yeah. Because then you'd still have had Verbruggen.
Yep. I know.
And you'd have had a green arrow.
I know.
And you probably would have been inside the top 1 million.
2 million. Let's not go crazy.
Well, it would have started with a 1.
It would have started with a 1, yeah. Yeah, very disappointing. We will take one more question, which is from Dave M. Would you do Timber to Nico or Van Dijk? Have 4 free transfers and get 12 players. So that's the key one. You just said it. Do you get O'Reilly or Van Dijk? I think we're going to go different here. I would get O'Reilly as a priority for the next 3. You're going to say Van Dijk, aren't you?
Okay, so Man City have got Leeds, Forest, West Ham. Great fixtures. Should in theory be 3 clean sheets. I don't think there will be, though. I do think they will concede. Liverpool have got West Ham, Wolves, Spurs. Should also in theory be 3 clean sheets, but I don't think they will be, because despite how utterly terrible we are, we do score goals.
Yep.
And so do West Ham, to be fair. O'Reilly's going to get more attacking returns for sure. For sure, O'Reilly will get more attacking returns than Virgil over the next 3 weeks. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't. Virgil will get I think this is tight. I genuinely think it's tight between them. I think they will both score really well. Oh, it's hard.
I can feel the cogs turning.
Because the pair of them are great pick. That's just what's really difficult about it. Is it's normally there's like one I think is a significantly better pick than the other, but I don't think that there is a significantly better pick here. I think they're both really great options, and picking between them's hard. I think I would just about go Virgil, but it's only just because you get the DEFCON and the attacking threat from set pieces, and the teams they've got from set pieces. West Ham, Wolves, Spurs. They're all three of us awful at set piece defending.
Yeah,
and you know that in Liverpool, where do they aim their set pieces? At Virgil.
Yeah, I think the key thing for me is that Dave has got the 4 free transfers and gets a team out, so you can afford a bit of a risk. And I think
be a luxury, yeah.
Again, it's similar to like Wilson versus Dango, isn't it? I just think O'Reilly's just got more upside.
Yeah, and he's a differential. He's like 8% owned or 8.
He says when
something.
Van Dijk's just scored, back to back, double digit hauls. Yeah, I'll sit with O'Reilly though. And you're saying
I'll sit with Virgil, but I do
close.
really love the O'Reilly pick. I think it's really tight.
Yeah. Lovely stuff. We will end it there. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel. Buy an Aura frame if you haven't already. And of course, check out Fantasy Football Scouts for all your tips and strategies and great articles and tools, all that stuff ahead of the Game Week 28 deadline. Sam and I will be back, hopefully both nestled snugly in the top 2 million with some green arrows.
With Brighton and Spurs both winning. Let's go there as well.
That would be nice. I'm going to the Brighton game this weekend. Go with Mark. Mark Southerns, to watch Brighton versus Forest. Honestly, that game against Brentford.
So badly. I've never wanted Brighton to win a game so much in my whole life. I'm fully on the Brighton fan base.
We'll take
Bruggen clean sheet incoming. I don't care who scores your goals. They can go in off someone's backside if they want to. As long as Brighton win the game and you're happy and smiling, that will make me happy.
I think we'll win this one. I think I'm quietly confident. I don't often say that about Brighton.
Yeah. Let's just be glad that it's not an away game, because you'd have nowhere to sit if you had to go to Forest, given the stadium.
True. That is true. Very true.
Absolutely disgraceful from Fenerbahce.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Fantastic. See you all next week. Good luck, Sam.
Good luck, Az. See you later. And for both game weeks as well, by the way.
Oh yeah, 2 game weeks until the next one. Yeah. Oh, we should get a couple of greens. Come on.
We should come back with 1 million ranks.
Yeah.
We'll see you when we've got 1 million ranks.
Yeah,
guys.
let's make the pact. We'll have one in front of our name. Let's do it.
See you later.
See ya.